What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, so as usual, I just was trying to read through all the stuff that was put out by the IMF, and a couple of days ago, this push for a so-called new Britton Wood moment. Ugh. So what I did is I went through and I watched this video that she put out several times to see if, what can I draw from it? What do I think they're trying to say? It appeared to me, and it's not a coincidence, it appeared to me like a extreme socialist takeover. And we're going to get into that here in just a second. Again, you guys, right now better be the time. If you think about moving into precious metals, you should give our friends over at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. You know, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat as the same name as the YouTube channel over here. We do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. No politics. Save the politics for over here, which is the hidden things in front of your eyes. We do talk about NESARA, GESARA, QAnon, current events, politics, 9/11, false flag events, the whole 9 yards. Just be respectful of one another. And for those of you who have a Twitter, come join me on Twitter. The links for all these are in the description. So anyways, you seen this tweet. It says IMF not planning to sell its gold for debt relief. Gold reserves provide fundamental strength, which is good. This is what we want to hear. But we also want to see a currency reset, or at least a reset, a new monetary system that would increase the values of gold and silver. So I went through and I heard this video at least a bajillion times. And I won't bore you with it, because here's what I got out of it, and I'm sure other people did too. There's no doubt on God's green earth that the IMF's announcement today was part of the Great Resets plan as well. You can see that they planned this crap. There's no hiding it. I told you, the Rona was the be-all, end-all, and their excuse to push on us a one-world government that we don't elect, controlled by bureaucrats, and they would push us into a one-world socialist economy that they control that's 100% digital. And I had that feeling, but I was feeling pretty optimistic when I was listening to what's going on with the IMF until I heard this chick's freaking speech. And it just told me everything I need to know. They were part of this movement. There's no way on God's green earth anybody can ever tell me ever again that the Rona was not planned. It's a lie. That's economical crashes around the world were not planned. That's a lie. They were all planned. You can't have all these separate entities somehow magically be tied into one another the way they are without it being planned. So a new Britton Wood moment. They want us to do a reversion of Britton Wood, which again looks like 100% socialism. They want to go digital 100%. Here's why. They literally tell you this. So gold and silver is important, and they're going to use gold and silver to revalue, but here's the kicker. You ready for this? They feel like those individuals around the world who have X amount of money should kick into the kitty a little bit more to help out those individuals who do not have wealth distribution. And here's the thing about the wallet that they want to create. You can sell your revised value of your gold and silver when it's high. Yay, congratulations. You're now rich. But you must convert it into the digital currency. And here's the crapper about it. You ready for this? You're not allowed to use that digital currency to buy precious metals. They literally are trying to imprison us around the world, put us into a socialist economy, and keep the wealth from our hands. And they don't want people to save. That's against their system. They want you to continue to spend because the system that they're trying to create is a system that is built around debt. So if you don't spend, their system collapses. Meanwhile, they could tax you, use inflation, do whatever the shit they want to take your money from you, keeping you from being able to pass your wealth down from generation to generation. This is a new world order agenda. I cannot stress this enough to you. I've said it till I'm blue in the face. I'm going to save you the torture of listening to this video. You could come back and listen to it because I will leave a link in the description. So I start bouncing around trying to find individuals who could kind of put this in a nutshell a little bit. All right. So there's the video. Again, here is the video. Yeah, this is what I'm pissed about. They are way farther along than we anticipated. Never in my lifetime have I ever wanted to stress this election that's coming up more than ever. If we do not get Trump in there, that is it. Do you understand that? Biden is going to turn this over to these people. They're going to invite the UN into our country to confiscate our guns. This isn't hyperbolic. This isn't fear-mongering. You could read the writing on the wall. They don't want citizens to be armed so that you can rise up against this unelected bureaucrat and take back over your country. That's terrible. But nonetheless, Life Growth Academy. I like this guy, but I got to the end of this video because he's going to kind of put it in a nutshell a little bit better than I did. And there are other people that get into extreme details explaining this. I just kind of summed it up for you. It doesn't look good. The only thing that I could tell you that is good, they absolutely are telling you, which we already knew, we are moving into a new monetary system. Gold and silver is going to play a huge role in it. But you will have to exchange your gold and silver for a digital currency, and that same digital currency you cannot exchange back for gold and silver. Meanwhile, what they're doing is buying up through this digital currency all your gold and silver, and then they'll just take your wealth away from you.
This week comes on the back of the IMF's virtual conference, where the IMF is calling for a new monetary reset. A new Britton Woods agreement seemingly allow the IMF to drive debt and indebtedness ever higher.
You hear what he's saying? Because he's not the first person I heard say this. What the IMF is doing is driving up debt. I mean worldwide, as high as it could possibly go. So that means that taxpayers, citizens around the world, are going to be responsible through this new system for paying it back. That's why they keep driving up the debt.
Particularly among developing nations. The code word here in this speech is investment, where Georgieva, the IMF head, really means taking on IMF debt and its influence. Anyone doubting such intentions should really read Confessions of an Economic Hitman. The IMF clearly needs new tools and hopes to offer its own CBDC to compete with central bank CBDCs. Taking on more IMF loans will then enable greater fiscal stimulus.
So, the IMF wanting to create CBDCs, which is your digital currency, to compete with central banks. No, they're not competing. I told you, cryptocurrencies were developed to first lure you in through the false flag of total anonymity. Then they manipulated a market to create a bunch of millionaires so that you would get excited about it and it would bring mass awareness. They will now start crashing the digital currencies by showing you platforms are corrupt, they're money laundering, they're funding terrorists, they're doing nefarious things like paying for children pornography, and then they'll start limiting the amount of coins that are out there. They will regulate the shit out of this until they get down to the one currency they want you involved in, which is the central bank currency. And then the IMF would take control of those currencies and either force everybody into a single one world currency, or they will control the central bank currencies. Look, they're all in cahoots. They're all the same evil group.
While in our domestic nation, CBDCs will of course be used as a key tool of financial repression to extract money from the private sector, to bolster the public coffers through stagflate, tax and lie. What's more, as Kitco reported this week, the IMF will not be selling gold to enable any debt relief to take place. This is an important indication, as if we needed one, that gold is likely to be a key tool in the forthcoming conference.
I said that, and I got that same tweet he did. The same one. So I told you, holding on to gold or silver is good. We know they're going to use it. Because they're not going to sell their gold and silver to help with debt relief. You should have a red flag. Why shouldn't these people who've been ripping us off for so long, why shouldn't they sell their gold and silver to bring liquidity back to the banks so that they can give us debt relief? They have no intentions of it. They're going to steal your gold and silver is what they're going to do.
Monetary reset is now official language. Will this be sufficient to boost short-term prices? Well, it depends whether the big money really takes note of this move, but it is a massively significant development. Thanks so much for watching. Do consider...
So again, I do like Life Growth Academy. He did a great job of just wrapping it up really quick. There is somebody out there who goes into it much more in detail. I just didn't want to bore you guys with all of the information outside of the fact that all you need to know is that magically and coincidentally, the IMF is lining up with the so-called Great Reset. So when you see hundreds of millions of dollars being pumped into the Biden campaign, it's for a reason. There's only one person in one country standing in the way of these people achieving their agenda. That is Trump and the United States. Under no circumstances should any of you surrender your firearms. You're going to need them. For the first time, we're seeing 302% increase of Democrats who are usually against or for gun control and against guns are buying guns for themselves. The writing is on the wall. This is not going to be just a civil war here in the United States. This is going to be a worldwide war. It is a new type of war. It's already started. Many of us are just catching up to the truth. Be prepared. So, this is what's going on. The IMF did chime in. There's no news yet. I'm still going through all the crap talking about the SDR basket, but have no doubt about it. We do anticipate them bringing in gold into the SDR basket. It seems that's what they were hinting about. We know precious metals are going to be used. They're not selling theirs. They want us to sell ours, and they want it to sell for a digital currency that you can't use to buy more gold and silver. So when they tell you they're going to give you universal basic income, do not fall for it. I know it's going to be enticing because it's a couple of $1,000s and many people are struggling. But if you take that poison pill, you entrap everybody. So that's it for now, you guys. I just wanted to update you on what's going on with this IMF meeting. There is still a ton of news that I'm sifting through. When I find out more, I will share it with you. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.